Pain is something most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. They avoid discomfort. They avoid struggle. They avoid the moments that make their chest tighten and their mind scream, "This is too much." But the truth is, pain is not your enemy. Pain is your advantage. The world has conditioned people to run from hardship. The moment life gets uncomfortable, they quit. The moment things stop feeling easy, they look for shortcuts. The moment they face rejection, failure, or criticism, they retreat back to safety. But the people who build extraordinary lives understand something different. They understand that pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. Every great transformation begins with discomfort. Every powerful mind has been shaped by struggle. And every person who rises above the average crowd has learned to turn pain into fuel. Look at the strongest people you know. They were not built during easy times. They were built during the moments when life pushed them to the edge, when they had every reason to quit, when giving up would have been the easiest choice. But they didn't. Instead of running from pain, they walked straight into it, because pain forces growth. When everything is comfortable, nothing changes. Your mind stays the same. Your habits stay the same. Your life stays the same. Comfort is a prison that feels like freedom. But pain breaks that prison. Think about the times in your life when you grew the most. Was it when everything was perfect? Or was it when life knocked you down so hard that you had no choice but to become stronger? Pain has a strange way of revealing who you really are. It strips away excuses. It exposes your weaknesses. And it forces you to face the version of yourself that you've been avoiding. Most people hate that moment. They don't want to see their limitations. They don't want to confront their fears. They don't want to accept that the life they want requires a level of discipline they haven't yet developed. So they numb the pain. They distract themselves. They escape into comfort. But the few decide to stay in the fire. Those are the people who change everything. Pain sharpens your mind. When you go through struggle, your perspective changes. The things that once felt impossible suddenly start to look like challenges instead of barriers. The obstacles that used to scare you begin to lose their power because you realize something powerful. You survived. You endured. And if you survive that moment, you can survive the next one too. That realization creates confidence that no motivational speech can give you. Real confidence is not built through positive thinking. Real confidence is built through suffering that you refuse to run from. Every early morning when you wake up tired but still get up to work on your goals, that's pain working in your favor. Every workout when your muscles burn and your body begs you to stop, that's pain building strength. Every rejection that forces you to improve your skills, that's pain turning you into someone sharper. Pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have. It teaches patience. It teaches discipline. It teaches resilience. And most importantly, it teaches you that you are capable of far more than you once believed. But here's the problem. Most people only experience pain by accident. Life throws it at them, and they react emotionally. They complain. They blame others. They feel like victims of circumstance. But high performers do something different. They choose pain. They wake up early when their body wants more sleep. They train harder when their muscles feel weak. They stay focused when distractions are everywhere. They push themselves into uncomfortable situations that most people avoid. Why? Because they understand the pain advantage. When you choose hard things voluntarily, life becomes easier. But when you spend your life chasing comfort, life eventually becomes harder. Discipline hurts in the moment, but regret hurts for a lifetime. Imagine looking back at your life years from now and realizing you never truly tested your limits. You never discovered how strong you could become. You never pushed yourself beyond the comfort zone that kept you safe but small. That realization is a pain far worse than any temporary struggle. The pain of regret is permanent. The pain of growth is temporary. And the people who achieve greatness learn to choose a temporary pain that leads to a stronger future. Because every time you push through discomfort, something inside you changes. Your mind becomes tougher. Your focus becomes sharper. Your tolerance for hardship expands. What once felt unbearable slowly becomes normal. And that's when the advantage begins to appear. While others complain about difficulty, you move forward. While others quit when things get uncomfortable, you keep going. While others stay stuck in the same place year after year, you evolve. Pain becomes your training ground. It becomes the place where your character is built. It becomes a silent force shaping you into someone the world cannot easily break. Think about the athletes who wake up before sunrise to train while everyone else sleeps. Think about the entrepreneurs who face failure after failure but continue building. Think about the people who overcome devastating setbacks and still find a way to rise again. Their secret is not talent. Their secret is their relationship with pain. They stopped seeing it as something negative. They started seeing it as proof that they were growing. Pain means you're stretching beyond your old limits. Pain means you're stepping into unfamiliar territory. Pain means you're evolving. And evolution is never comfortable. The moment a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, it doesn't happen peacefully. It happens through struggle. Without that struggle, the butterfly would never gain the strength needed to fly. The same is true for you. Without resistance, you remain weak. Without pressure, you never develop resilience. Without pain, your potential remains dormant. That's the hidden truth most people never realize. Pain is not a sign that something is wrong. Pain is often a sign that something powerful is happening. It's the moment your old self begins to break apart, so a stronger version can take its place. And once you start seeing pain this way, your entire mindset changes. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? Instead, you start asking, what is this teaching me? Every setback becomes a lesson. Every challenge becomes training. Every moment of struggle becomes an opportunity to become harder, wiser, and more capable. The pain advantage is not about suffering for no reason. It's about using discomfort as a weapon for growth. It's about turning obstacles into stepping stones. It's about transforming hardship into strength. Because the truth is simple. Life will bring pain whether you want it or not. Failure will come. Rejection will come. Difficult days will come. But when you learn how to use pain instead of fearing it, those moments stop being roadblocks. They become your greatest advantage. And once you understand that, you stop running from the fire. You walk straight into it. Because you know something most people don't. On the other side of pain is the strongest version of you waiting to be born. And that version of you is capable of far more than you ever imagined. Most people believe success comes from talent, luck, or perfect timing. But if you study the people who truly rise above the rest, you'll notice something different. Their advantage wasn't comfort. Their advantage was pain. At some point in their lives, they were forced into situations that tested them beyond what they thought they could handle. Moments when quitting seemed reasonable. Moments when walking away felt like the smartest choice. But instead of escaping the discomfort, they leaned into it. And that decision changed everything. Because pain has a unique ability to reveal hidden strength. Strength you didn't know existed. Strength that only appears when the pressure becomes unbearable. Think about a piece of coal turning into a diamond. Without intense pressure over time, that transformation never happens. The same principle applies to human potential. Pressure creates power. Struggle creates resilience. Pain creates transformation. Yet, most people spend their lives doing everything they can to escape those very forces. They search for easier paths. They look for shortcuts that avoid hardship. They want results without the process. But the process is where the power lives. The late nights when you feel exhausted, but continue working. The mornings when your alarm rings and your mind tells you to stay in bed, yet you still get up. The moments when doubt creeps into your mind, whispering that you're not good enough, but you keep moving forward anyway. Those are the moments that shape your future. Those are the moments where the pain advantage begins to separate you from the crowd. Because while others stop when things get difficult, you continue. While others complain about how unfair life is, you focus on getting stronger. While others look for reasons to quit, you look for reasons to grow. This mindset shift is powerful. The moment you stop seeing pain as something negative and start seeing it as an opportunity, your entire life begins to change. Suddenly, the struggles that once frustrated you become tools for development. Every obstacle becomes training. Every challenge becomes preparation. And every difficult moment becomes another layer of mental armor. That's how unstoppable people are built. Not through comfort, but through consistent exposure to difficulty. There's a certain toughness that develops when you repeatedly face challenges without backing down. You start trusting yourself more. You begin to understand that you can handle situations that once scared you. Your mind stops panicking every time things get hard. Instead, it adapts. It grows calmer under pressure. It becomes sharper when facing adversity. That mental toughness becomes your greatest asset. Because life doesn't get easier as you chase bigger goals. It gets harder. The challenges become bigger. The risks become greater. The expectations become heavier. If you are not mentally prepared for that level of pressure, you will collapse the moment things stop going smoothly. But when pain has trained your mind, pressure becomes familiar territory. You no longer panic when things go wrong. You adjust. You learn. You move forward. This is the advantage most people will never understand. They think successful individuals have fewer problems. In reality, they simply have stronger minds. They've built the ability to endure more. They've developed the discipline to keep moving even when motivation disappears. Because motivation is unreliable. Some days you will feel inspired. Some days you will feel powerful. But many days you will feel tired, frustrated, and uncertain. Those are the days when pain becomes your teacher. Those are the days when discipline replaces motivation. When you keep moving forward despite how you feel, you strengthen a part of your mind that most people never develop. You become less controlled by emotion, less affected by temporary setbacks, less likely to abandon your goals when things get uncomfortable. And over time, that consistency compounds into something powerful. Small moments of discipline become powerful habits. Those habits become a strong character, and that character becomes a foundation for long-term success. Pain plays a crucial role in this process because it forces you to confront reality. It forces you to acknowledge where you are weak. It forces you to recognize the gap between who you are and who you need to become. Most people hate confronting that gap. It makes them uncomfortable. It challenges their ego. It forces them to admit that improvement is necessary. So they avoid it. They stay in environments where they feel comfortable and validated. But growth never happens there. Growth happens where things feel uncertain. Growth happens where mistakes are inevitable. Growth happens where effort is required every single day. And the people who accept this reality gain an incredible advantage. Because while others are protecting their comfort, they are expanding their capacity. They are building the mental endurance required to handle bigger challenges. They are strengthening the habits that support long-term excellence. This process is rarely glamorous. It often feels lonely. There will be moments when people around you question why you push yourself so hard. They might say you're doing too much. They might say you should relax more. They might not understand why you continue working when you could take the easier route. But the truth is simple. They are protecting comfort. You are building strength. And those two paths lead to completely different outcomes. Comfort keeps you where you are. Pain pushes you toward who you could become. One path maintains the present. The other path creates the future. That's why the pain advantage is so powerful. It places you on a trajectory that most people will never experience. While others stay stuck in cycles of comfort and stagnation, you move through cycles of struggle and growth. Each challenge becomes another level of development. Each difficult moment becomes another opportunity to sharpen your mind. Over time, the person you become is almost unrecognizable compared to the person you once were. Your confidence becomes deeper. Your discipline becomes stronger. Your tolerance for discomfort becomes far greater than the average person. And that difference begins to show in your results. Because when opportunities appear, you are prepared. When obstacles appear, you are resilient. When pressure appears, you are calm. All because you embrace the one thing most people run from: pain. But the journey doesn't stop there. Understanding pain is only the beginning. Because the real power comes when you learn how to control your response to it, how to use it intentionally, and how to turn every difficult experience into fuel for something greater. And once you master that skill, pain stops being something you survive. It becomes something you use. Most people don't understand the true value of pain. They see it as something to avoid, something to escape, something to numb with distractions and excuses. But those who rise above average know a different truth. Pain is the ultimate teacher, the ultimate accelerator, and the ultimate advantage. When you begin to embrace pain, your perception of life changes. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming start to feel like opportunities. Discomfort becomes a signal that you are moving in the right direction. Every setback, every failure, every moment of struggle begins to reveal what you are truly capable of. Pain forces clarity. When life is easy, your mind softens. Comfort lulls you into mediocrity. Pain strips away illusions, exposes weaknesses, and forces you to confront the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. When you embrace it, you see the truth about who you are and who you are not. You understand the sacrifices required. You realize that nothing worth achieving comes without struggle. Most people flee at this point. They look for shortcuts, excuses, and comfort. But those who embrace pain lean into it. They welcome it. They use it as fuel. Every difficult situation becomes a training ground. Every failure becomes an opportunity to improve. Pain teaches resilience, mental toughness, emotional stability, and unwavering focus. It molds you into someone who can withstand adversity without breaking. Physical pain is the most obvious example, but mental and emotional pain shape you just as powerfully. The frustration of failure, the stress of pressure, doubt creeping in when goals feel unreachable, heartbreak, betrayal, loneliness. They all build depth, empathy, and an unshakable drive to succeed. Those who understand the pain advantage wake up early even when their body begs for sleep, push their bodies to exhaustion in workouts that feel unbearable, and face challenges others avoid. They understand that growth comes from discomfort. Pain is temporary. Growth is permanent. Every moment of struggle, every ounce of effort leaves a mark. It leaves you stronger, wiser, and more capable. Most people fail because they don't see the connection between short-term pain and long-term gain. They suffer without purpose, complain, quit, and let discomfort define them. Those who master the pain advantage control the narrative. They turn pain into power, setbacks into momentum, and obstacles into stepping stones. They take situations that would crush others and use them to rise higher than anyone thought possible. Mental toughness is built in these moments. Real toughness is not about being fearless. It is about feeling fear, doubt, and pain, and moving forward anyway. It's about enduring discomfort without complaint and keeping the focus when the world expects you to quit. Pain also builds unshakable confidence, because surviving challenges that would defeat most people proves that you can handle anything life throws at you. Pain teaches patience. It teaches discipline. It creates perspective. Enduring hardship makes trivial frustrations seem small. It sharpens priorities, strengthens goals, and reinforces purpose. Pain molds character, builds empathy, and develops a relentless work ethic. While others seek comfort, you run toward discomfort, creating momentum and forging an unstoppable version of yourself. Every time you push past what feels unbearable, you expand your capacity. You learn that struggle is not a sign to quit. It is a sign that you are growing, that you are becoming stronger, and that you are being prepared for challenges others will never face. Pain becomes a guide, a teacher, a silent mentor that ensures you never settle for mediocrity. Embracing pain also builds humility. It reminds you that life is unpredictable and nothing is guaranteed. It forces you to respect the process and acknowledge that mastery requires consistent effort over time. At the same time, it instills confidence. When you have faced suffering and stood tall, you know you can endure whatever comes next. You develop resilience beyond measure, fearlessness in the face of adversity, and a relentless drive toward your goals. Many people fail because they give up too soon. They quit when life gets hard, letting fear, doubt, and discomfort control their choices. But those who embrace pain respond differently. They see obstacles as opportunities. They see every challenge as a chance to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. Pain transforms them into warriors in a world full of spectators. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering comes from resisting, complaining, and avoiding responsibility. Enduring comes from embracing, confronting, and acting. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who do not is how they respond to discomfort. Pain will come. What matters is whether it breaks you or makes you. To truly harness the pain advantage, make it a part of your life. Seek challenges that scare you. Take on tasks that push your limits. Step into the fire when others retreat. Every time you do, you expand your capacity to endure more and achieve more. Pain becomes your ally, not your enemy. It becomes a ladder to your highest potential, the forge your character, and the key to your extraordinary life. Your life will not be defined by comfort, luck, or talent. It will be defined by your willingness to endure, persist, and grow through pain. Those who embrace discomfort relentlessly will rise above the crowd. They will achieve results most people consider impossible. Pain becomes a teacher shaping your mind, body, and spirit. Those who understand it will not just survive life, they will dominate it. Pain never stops knocking. Life will continue to test you, challenge you, and push you to your limits. But here's the truth few people realize. The struggles that seem unbearable are the moments that define you. Every time you face hardship and push through it, you're building a version of yourself that others will never become. You're not just surviving, you're evolving, transforming, becoming unstoppable. Those who run from pain will always remain average. They seek comfort at every turn, avoiding challenges and choosing the path of least resistance. In doing so, they miss the true potential life has to offer. Pain is not a punishment. It is a catalyst. It is a force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is an invisible teacher guiding you toward greatness. Embracing pain requires courage, but also requires awareness. You must recognize when life is testing you and choose to lean into it. Stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? Every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every setback, every failure, every rejection carries a lesson that cannot be learned any other way. True growth never happens in comfort zones. Comfort zones numb your mind and weaken your spirit. Only in the fire of struggle do you discover your true limits, and more importantly, how to break them. Every time you push past what feels unbearable, you expand your capacity. You develop mental toughness, discipline, and resilience that most people will never experience. Pain becomes your teacher, your coach, and your secret weapon. The world is full of people who talk about change, growth, and success. But talk without struggle is meaningless. To achieve greatness, you must pay the price in sweat, tears, and relentless effort. Pain is that price, and it is worth every ounce. Those who endure it gain an advantage that cannot be taken away. They become hardened, disciplined, and fearless. They learn to thrive under pressure, while others crumble. Discomfort builds perspective. It teaches patience. It creates empathy and character. When you face challenges that test every part of you, you gain clarity that others cannot understand. You see what truly matters. You prioritize what is essential. You stop wasting energy on trivial frustrations or the opinions of those who have never faced real struggle. Pain shapes not just your body and mind, but your identity. Every time you embrace the hard path, you accumulate momentum. Small victories compound. Every early morning you choose discipline over sleep. Every challenge you face without quitting builds a foundation for something greater. Pain, when embraced, is not a limitation. It is the engine that drives you forward. It forges character, determination, and unshakable confidence. Mental toughness is built in these moments. Not the toughness that comes from talent or luck, but the toughness that comes from deliberate struggle, consistent effort, and refusal to quit. Real strength is forged in moments when every part of you screams to stop, yet you move forward anyway. You learn to be uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, you become unstoppable. Pain also teaches humility. It reminds you that life is unpredictable and nothing is guaranteed. It forces you to respect the process and acknowledge that mastery takes consistent effort over time. At the same time, it instills confidence. When you have faced suffering and stood tall, you know you can endure whatever comes next. You develop resilience beyond measure, fearlessness in adversity, and a relentless drive toward your goals. Many people fail because they give up too soon. They quit when life gets hard, letting fear, doubt, and discomfort control their choices. Those who embrace pain respond differently. They see obstacles as opportunities. They see every challenge as a chance to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. Pain transforms them into warriors in a world full of spectators. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering comes from resisting, complaining, and avoiding responsibility. Enduring comes from embracing, confronting, and acting. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who do not is how they respond to discomfort. Pain will come. What matters is whether it breaks you or makes you. To harness the true advantage of pain, make it a part of your life. Seek challenges that scare you. Take on tasks that push your limits. Step into the fire when others retreat. Every time you do, you expand your capacity to endure more and achieve more. Pain becomes your ally, not your enemy. It becomes a ladder to your highest potential, the forge of your character, and the key to your extraordinary life. Your life will not be defined by comfort, luck, or talent. It will be defined by your willingness to endure, persist, and grow through pain. Those who embrace discomfort relentlessly will rise above the crowd. They will achieve results most people consider impossible. Pain becomes a teacher shaping your mind, body, and spirit. Those who understand it will not just survive life, they will dominate it. When you feel pain, don't recoil. Don't complain. Don't look for an easy way out. Lean in. Embrace it. Let it teach you, strengthen you, and drive you. Transform every moment of struggle into power, every setback into momentum, every challenge into an advantage. The path of pain is lonely. Few will understand it. Few will respect it. But those who walk it gain something that no comfort or luck can provide: unbreakable mental toughness, relentless discipline, and the ability to dominate challenges that would crush most people. Pain becomes your greatest weapon, your secret advantage, and the key to an extraordinary life. Never forget, life will test you. It will push you to limits you never imagined. But every trial, every challenge, every moment of suffering is an opportunity to rise. Those who embrace it will not just survive, they will dominate. They will stand stronger, faster, and wiser than anyone who chose comfort over growth. They will understand that pain is not punishment. It is the gateway to power, mastery, and greatness. And when the world tries to break you, remember, you are stronger than your struggles. You are tougher than your fears. You are capable of enduring more than most people will ever imagine. Pain is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the spark that ignites greatness. It is the advantage that will carry you through every challenge life throws your way. The choice is yours. Run from pain or use it to become unstoppable. Every challenge you embrace, every discomfort you endure, every setback you overcome brings you closer to the best version of yourself. The pain advantage is real. Those who understand it, embrace it, and live by it will not just survive life. They will dominate it.